Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. To this webinar, we are going to talk about ReFILE and T1-ADJ adjustment request form. So my name is Parminder Kaur. I am a community success specialist for Tax Cycle at Xero, and this webinar takes us about 20 minutes. So what we are going to cover today, first we will talk about the eligibility of the return to refile it and how you can create T1 adjustment request form. And we will also talk about the different type of methods that you can send the file if you want to mail it to the CRA or if you want to send it through a refile. And we will talk about in that case if you need to print it and mail it to the CRA, the T1-ADJ, that how you can do that. And we will also go through some review messages and then transmit T1 ReFILE and also ReFILE a worksheet. So this is the return for 2023 T1 return, and this is the return that I have already e-filed. But now we are talking about refile, so that means this client of mine needs to get this return updated. So we will make sure that we are entering all that necessary data that needs to be updated. But before that, actually, before we get started, let's unlock this return. And now, before we see that how we can create T1-ADJ, I would like to talk about the requirements. So as per CRA, to use the refile, your income tax and benefit returns must have been filed electronically, as I have done this now. And then also, you can send adjustment requests to CRA for 2023, 2022, 2021, and 2020 returns. So there are many times customer come to you, sometimes they have filed their T1 return on their own and they may need to file the adjustment and they come to you to file their adjustment, or maybe you have filed their return already electronically and you need to send an adjustment request to CRA for their return. So you can go and make those adjustment requests until 2020 returns. And if you need to adjust for beyond 2020, you may need to print it and mail it to CRA. And in ReFILE, you can now elect to split pension income before a request can be allowed. Both the transferring spouse or common law partner and the receiving spouse or common law partner must ask for an adjustment if elected split pension amount was not previously claimed. And the link will be provided in the resource widgets. If you want to learn more about this, this is all you will be able to find in CRA website. You also want to make sure that you are in a e-file service provided in good standing with CRA. You want to double check in tax cycles options that you can find at the top, that if you have entered your e-file number and password correctly, and also you want to make sure that you have a level 2 authorization. That is something you can always look into the auth wrap, and if this is something you want to look at, you can always come in here under the auth wrap form and change the level of authorization. All right, so this is what it is. And before, now this is something we have talked about, the eligibility. There are some of the returns that are being excluded from the refile. So for example, you cannot use refile if an assessment or a reassessment is in progress, and you cannot change anything on page 1 of the T1 jacket. So that is something also you need to keep in mind, and you will also able to get the list of exclusions of those returns on the tax cycle website as well. And I will mention you at the end as well, because you can get into the resources page that we have and you can type in the refile. You will be able to get the link in that help topic. All right, and then tax cycle displays a review message if a return contains an exclusion preventing refile. And again, if we will see more details about the exclusions appear on the refile worksheet that we will get into that in today's webinar. And if a return is excluded from refile, print the T1 ADJ form, and then you can mail it to the CRA so that um, you can make sure that all the information that CRA has is up to date. And now let's talk about how you can create the T1 ADJ. So um, you want to actually, before that, you want to make sure that there is the as filed snapshot. So TaxCycle makes it so easy for you to review the recorded data which you transmitted to CRA already with the new data that you are entering as an adjustment. So I'm talking about as filed snapshot. You can get into the tools menu at the top, and then you can click on show variants. And this is where you will be able to see the T1 as filed and then confirmation with it and when it is done. So to prepare an adjusted return automatically, the return must contain an as filed snapshot, and as filed snapshot records the data in the key field used for filing the return, and then you make changes to the return, and TaxCycle uses it to detect any variances, and it triggers an adjustment accordingly. And TaxCycle automatically creates an as file snapshot when you successfully transmit a T1 return or print the T1 condensed for filing on paper. So this is that important, and we will see once we refile the return, you will be able to see another as filed, adjusted as filed as well. So now, let's say this client of mine, there is some changes in his T4, and right now it has employment income 50,000. Let's say there was something that needs to be changed, so let's make it to 70,000. And you can see that as soon as I did that, at the top, you might have noticed there is a bulletin appeared that is showing that a return has changed since T1 as filed a snapshot was taken on this date. So you can show the changes. If you will click on this link, you will be able to get to the review tab on the left sidebar here, and you can see all the changes that has been made. And if you double click on that, it will take you to the problem field or the changes that has been made. And if we go back, so this is the change. I would like to make the changes to CPP, and I would like to change to the EI as well. So now, once you have those changes, you can click on create a T1 ADJ. And now it has created a T1 ADJ for us, and this is the form it looks like. And before that, now we haven't gone through the T1 ADJ request, but there could be a lot more changes that we need to make in the return. So you can always, once the T1 ADJ is created, you can always go back to the return and make more changes. And as soon as you do that, you can see at the top the bulletin appears again saying update the T1 ADJ. So before that, I want to show you one thing. So if we go down here, right now we have 70,000 because that's what we changed initially, and we have that amount of change in here. But if I go back in here, we have now 80,000. So as soon as I click on this update T1 ADJ, and you will be able to see that all the review messages has gone. That's one thing. And also it has updated to the current amount. So now we have revised amount to 80,000. So this is very important because once you have created T1 ADJ, there are a lot more changes that you may need to make on your return. So once you do that, you just want to make sure that once all of those done, you can click on update the T1 ADJ so that it reflects your changes. So that was T1-ADJ form. So this is something that how will this adjustment be sent to CRA? So how you want to do that? So there are a few methods: mail to CRA. And so this thing I want to show you here. So as soon as you select mail to CRA, on the side here under T1 ReFILE, you can see there is an option. Now print the T1 ADJ. So if you click on that, you will be able to see the print configuration, and you can make those changes in here. So if you want to print it. You can choose the default printer. You can create a PDF as well. And once you make the preferences in here, you can save those settings for the T1-ADJ and click on print here. It will print it for you. And then you can mail it to CRA. But another thing I want to mention here is that if you select sent through ReFILE, then this is something that has been changed. So if you select this, then you can see that it is now asking us that if we have a T1-ADJ signed or not. So we can confirm and we can go through that. But before that, I want to show you that what we have in this T1 adjustment request form. So once you have selected the method here, then you will see that some of the information has been taken from the info worksheet, and then this is the info that is taken from an engagement worksheet, and then authorize the representative for access. So if this is something you already have, or if you have attached to this time for to transmit this ReFILE request, so let's say was submitted previously. And then down at this section here at C adjustment details, you can see all of that. So what are some changes that has been made? So this is the previous or original amount that has been transmitted to CRA. This is the change in amount or the variance in amount, or this is the revised amount. So you can see that all of these numbers have been updated according to what we have put in our T4. And then once we are happy with this form, you also want to look into the ReFILE worksheet. So you want to come into the Preparer tab, and then you want to go into the filing and authorization. And then this is where you will see a T1-ADJ, and for each T1-ADJ ReFILE worksheet automatically created. So you want to click on that, and this is where you will see the requirement questions. So if this return was initially transmitted electronically, yes, and then if this initial return has been assessed, so you can mention here yes or no. So as you know that you need this the return needs to be assessed so that you can refile. That was the question. I can give you answer for that. So this is something you would want to have it as a yes, so you can refile. And then there is exclusions. You can go through that as well. And once you transmit the ReFILE return, so you will be able to see the results of it here. So let's go back to review here, and you will be able to see all the review messages. You can look into those and make sure all of this is up to date. And then you can get into the transmit, and then after that, you can confirm the T1-ADJ. And if there is any of the changes in refund or a balance due more than 300, you need to get the signatures on T1-ADJ from the client. So let's select your e-signature. Now our return is ready to refile, so we can simply go in and click on transmit now. Okay, it is going through. Now you can see that it has automatically prompted me with save as dialog box, and it has also showed me this adjusted a keyword in the naming convention. So it is according to the preference that I have set in my file naming options. So you can always do that as well. So I'm gonna save it, and now it has been saved as adjusted at the top as well, you can see. And we want to go into the tools menu at the top and then click on show variants, and now there is a as adjusted T1 is shown as well. So now another thing is that you want to look at the ReFILE, right? So you can click on ReFILE worksheet, and you can see there is a result of ReFILE transmission as well. So you get the confirmation number and the timings and the dates as well. So this is it. And if you need to make further adjustments, you can do that. And I believe there is a 9 times. So yeah, you can make the adjustments 9 times. So if you need to make another adjustment for this client, you can do that by repeating the same steps that we have gone through today. All right, thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope all of you have a wonderful tax season and enjoy your rest of the day.